What's up, YouTube? Carolina Cowie here to show you how to wash your bike. Now I have a battery tender plugged into a USB that I use to charge my phone. So I use a little plastic zip bag to wrap the cable around and hold it in my phone holder just to ensure no water gets into it. And I also use Publix bags that I put around the headlights where the bulbs go in, just to ensure that no water or condensation gets into the headlight housings. So just place it in there best as you can, right over the bulb. Take my USB, place it in here, wrap it around, twist it up, and just put it right into my phone holder. That way that's out of the way and no moisture gets in there. I'm using a Karcher K5 electric pressure washer, an MJJC snow foam lance, a microfiber mitt, a Mother's soft wheel brush, and just some cheap long tube style brush that I got from Amazon that's used to get inside of the wheels a little better to help get those a little cleaner. So I'll start out first by pressure washing all the loose stuff off the bike. Then I'll hit it with the snow foam, rinse that off, hit it with the snow foam again. That way it lubricates it for when I go over it with the microfiber mitt. Rinse it all off, and then to finish it up I use an electric blower just to kind of blow dry it clean. And we'll go through all that now. Now that we've rinsed off all the loose dirt, we're going to hit it with the snow foam lance to help lift up any dirt particles that are still there to rinse off, and then we'll reapply to lubricate to do a mitt wash on it. And it's a little windy today. Now I'll just let that sit for about a minute, and then I'll go ahead and rinse off as much as I can, and we'll go ahead and hit the next step. Doing this step, I also like to try to get any bugs that are in the radiator grill off with the pressure washer. So I'll get in here. I'll also get around while I'm in there doing the radiator. I'll also get around the headers, the bottom of the engine, and then those inner fairings to get away as much grime as I can. And I like for the engine to try to be as clean as possible. That way if I encounter any oil leaks or things of that nature, it's more apparent, because if it's clean, it's usually not there. So now I'll go ahead and hit it again with the snow foam. But right now I'm only going to do the wheels, so that I can go ahead and start agitating the dirt and rinse it off of there and not worry about the soap drying all over the bike. Now is when this comes into play, my cheap Amazon brush. I think I spent like $12, maybe $14 on Amazon for this, and it works fantastic. I highly recommend one of these. Just kind of get it all in there as best as you can. Get around the spokes, the inner part. Parts like around the chain are a little hard to get in there, so you might need to roll the bike back a little bit or forward just to give you a little more access. It's not as much of an issue for me right now because I usually keep the bike so clean there's not much dirt on it anyways. I typically try to wash it after every ride or two. I'll also use this brush to clean around the calipers, these hoses, little reflectors, any of these tight to reach spots. Just kind of give them a good once over. Now I'll repeat on the other side. Get the caliper on this side as well. Around the hoses, brake lines, reflector. Now we'll go to the other side of the other rear wheel. This tool works extremely well on the swing arm, getting in between these tight spots like here on the rear foot peg bar. You know, just kind of anywhere it's hard to get clearance that you could just get in between and just get the stuff that normally you don't wash because it's hard to get to. Brush works really well in these tight spaces. Getting in here in the engine. And most won't take it this far, but I don't know, I like to take care of my things and keep them looking as nice as possible. You know, you take pride in your ride no matter what it is, even if you're on a Honda Grom. I'll use this brush to get in between the coils of the rear suspension spring. So now that that's done, we'll go ahead and rinse that off. Especially on a sunny day like today, and definitely with a black bike or vehicle, I like to just keep wetting the whole thing so the paint stays cool and the soap doesn't really dry on it. now the wheels are done. Now typically, at least me, I like to start low and work my way up and do the paint last. That way I don't have to worry about the soap drying on it and making spots. So I'll start with the wheels, then I'll hit the plastics, try to get all the little tight spots, and then I'll do the paint last so that way I can go straight into drying it off, especially with a black bike. It just gives it a better overall finished look. So now we'll go ahead and hit it again with the snow foam. And even though I did the wheels, I'll hit them again just in case there's any loose leftover dirt. So now I'm going to use my mother's soft tire brush, and by the way, I'm using Griot's Garage Brilliant Car Finish Car Wash, the pink one. It's pH balanced, it's cheap, it works good. You get it advanced auto. I've had good results with it. So now I'll just take this brush and just kind of get in all these little hard to reach areas, especially the plastic bits. Like down here, I'll go over the engine pieces, these little frames, forks kind of around the ignition area and the bars, controls, just all the little ins and out areas. Try to get as much of the plastics. Go ahead and hit the seat. Now I'll get the other side. Now I'll take the microfiber mitt, and personally, because the soap's already lubricating it, all I do is wet the mitt because the soap's already there. And I'll just go ahead and start hitting all the paint parts, the windscreen, headlights, anything that's painted really, and the fenders. Gas tank, rear fairings, license plate, rear tail light. All these painted bits here. Mirrors. ready for a good rinse. Now I'll start high and work my way down so everything just naturally falls down. Just bring that back up. Now that I'm satisfied it's thoroughly cleaned and rinsed off, I use a Cobalt 80-volt brushless blower to blow dry out everything. I like doing it this way because I can get all the water in the engine compartment for the most part, under in and around components completely dry, especially the front console. That way whenever I turn it on there's less moisture in there. so now I can carefully remove my bags, which I save these because I reuse them. I know it's a cheap solution, but I haven't had any issue with any humidity getting in my headlights. And possibly because I take the time to try to blow dry everything out, all these electrical components where the switches, the hazards, turn signals, things like that are the ignition. I try to blow as much of that moisture as I can out, and luckily, so far at least, I haven't had any electrical issues because of me thoroughly soaking this whole area. So, with that said, that's the way I wash my bike. I know some other people have asked me before. I had questions when I was researching into it, so I decided I'd make a video that might help some people out. I personally like the investment that I made with the products I got: the MJJC Snow Foam Lance, the Karcher K5 electric pressure washer, the Cobalt brushless blower, you know, the wheel brushes. All these, having the right tools makes the job a lot easier and more rewarding in my opinion. So this is what I do. If anyone has any questions or critiques, or maybe advice for me even to fine-tune the whole process, I mean, go ahead and comment. I'll gladly accept them, and I hope this video helps somebody. Now, because I washed it, I'll go ahead and put the bike on the stand and re-lube the chain, and when it dries off a little more, I might go ahead and apply a layer of the Mother's CMX ceramic spray coating. That stuff's fantastic. It's extremely hydrophobic, gives a great shine, and super easy to work with. Well, that's all I got. Thanks for sticking with me. I know it was a little bit of a long video. Hopefully I have more great content for you guys and keep you entertained. Carolina Cowie out.